Warframe is by far the best value looter shooter out there, but should you play it? Hello, I'm Abrax and welcome to my Should You Play series for early 2022, where I'll be breaking down some of the most popular looter shooters currently available and equipping you with the knowledge you need to decide whether or not this is the game for you. In this video, I'm going to go over how the game plays, cost of entry, content, current player base, and more. So it doesn't matter if you've played Warframe before or you're thinking about trying it for the first time, this video has you covered. First, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content. And a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon, more on how you can support at the end of the video. Warframe is a fast-moving multiplayer looter shooter developed and published by Digital Extremes, first released on PC March 2013 and on console later that year. In Warframe, you are a Tenno, a member of a warrior race who utilizes Warframes, powerful suits of armor, each with unique abilities, awakened to bring back balance to a solar system at war. Warframe is currently available on PC using Steam or the Epic Store. It's also available on Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 4 and 5, and the Nintendo Switch. Warframe is also coming to mobile some point in the future. How? I have no idea. Despite its age, Warframe is a really good looking game, with detailed textures and particle effects, so it's going to be interesting to see how that runs. Okay, let's talk cost and pricing. It's free. That's it. Free. Like, free. You can download the game and play it from the tutorial all the way through to the end game and everything in between for free. I'm not kidding, it's crazy how much game Digital Extremes are giving people for nothing. And Warframe isn't quite like most free-to-play games, where you get to a certain point where progression slows and the game tries to sell you a solution to an artificial problem it's created. The game and its progression are free and completely unrestricted. Warframe does have an in-game cash shop. This is where the game gets most of its funding, where you can buy pretty much anything you'd want, including a ton of different cosmetics, from skins, colour palettes, armour attachments, and more, using Warframe's premium currency, Platinum. Unlike most games, players can actually trade Platinum, the premium currency, between themselves, selling farmed in-game items or crafting blueprints to other players for Platinum, meaning that if you are a 100% free-to-play player, you can still get Platinum for free and buy cosmetics or whatever you want from the in-game store. You can also get 25, 50 and 75% off Platinum discounts, occasionally as login bonuses, so most players tend to wait for these before buying a little Platinum. Something I really do like about the in-game store is that they allow members of the community to design, model, and submit these designs to be added to the game through the Tennogen scheme. These designs might then actually get added to the game and the creator gets a cut whenever someone buys their design. I've always thought this is a great way to get the community a little bit more involved in the game itself. They do also sell resource boosters in the cash shop, and I don't think these are a massive advantage, but I know a lot of players out there aren't really a fan of this kind of booster, so I thought it would be worth mentioning. I will say I have picked up Platinum in Warframe, not because I saw something shiny, but because I felt that I got so much from the game I actually wanted to drop some cash just to support the developers. Warframe's tagline is "Ninjas play for free." That's because when you play Warframe, you really do feel like a space ninja. The shooting feels good, the melee feels fast, and we will come back to them shortly, but where Warframe really shines is in its movement. Huge front flip double jumps, wall runs, running across zip lines, bouncing up walls, sticking to walls, slides, rolls, glides, and of course the bread and butter of moving through the world of Warframe, the bullet jump. I'm not kidding, as you get faster at moving through the environments, you will eventually start doing this more than you'll run. And it's not just that we have all of these ways to move our character, but they all just work so well together. After playing for a while, you'll almost start moving like water, flowing through and around the levels, and this is something I feel really separates Warframe from other looter shooters. Something else that is pretty unique to Warframe is, of course, the Warframes. If you haven't played or heard of Warframe before, the Warframes are suits of armor you'll be able to craft, collect, and equip. Each Warframe handles the same when it comes to movement, but they all have slight differences to a few base stats: armor, energy, health, shield, and sprint speed. There are also prime versions of most Warframes, which are more powerful with higher base stats. The major way your different Warframes will switch up your playstyle is through their abilities, each Warframe having its own theme and abilities to match. For example, Hydroid, a water-based Warframe who can rain down a barrage of water to stagger and damage enemies, become a tidal wave to push through groups, and summon a literal kraken. Seriously. Or Vauban, who uses a range of different grenades with different uses and functions. Or Ash, who takes Space Ninja to the next level, throwing shurikens, disappearing into a smokescreen, or teleporting behind enemies. And at the time of writing this script, there's currently 48 different Warframes for you to farm and use. And I'll be honest, when I first jumped in and tried Warframe, I wasn't a fan of the aesthetic of some of the Warframes. When it comes to power armor, I've always preferred the heavy or mechanical look, more of a Space Marine or an Iron Man kind of thing, and Warframes always looked more organic to me. But after spending some time customizing a few, you can make them look pretty good. Let's go back to combat and talk about the shooting and melee. Warframe seamlessly blends shooting with melee combat, meaning you can go from flying through the air raining shotgun shells down on your enemies to becoming a visceral blender with the press of a button, which, just like movement, feels fluid and smooth. Shooting feels impactful with a good range of different weapons inspired by different factions found in the game. Everything from assault rifles, single shot rifles, bows, shotguns, sniper rifles, throwing knives, grenade launchers, dual pistols, dual SMGs, and honestly I could keep going. Warframe has a huge range of weapons to craft and use, with them all having different playstyles and feels to them. And this also applies to melee weapons. You name it, you can probably find it here. Swords, whips, daggers, knuckle dusters, warhammers, Wolverine claws, a sword and shield combo literally made out of fire, and the list goes on. No matter what kind of weapons you want your Warframe to wield, they're more than likely in the game's growing arsenal. You can also have companions like Kubros, Kavats, and small floating drone things, each with their own benefits and perks. Warframe's weapons and companions can be customized using mods. This is where creating builds comes in. I'm not going to go over the full system here because it can get pretty deep pretty fast, but each Warframe and weapon has a capacity for modding, and each mod has a cost. You can increase the capacity using a few different means later on in the game to increase a Warframe or weapon's power. Modding can completely change up how a Warframe or a weapon plays, increasing weapon damage, Warframe armor or health, ability strength or duration, and more. Like I said, this system can get complex, but I will leave it up to you to explore it fully. You don't just get a lot of customization with how your Warframe and weapons play, but also how they look. The character customization is a massive part of the game, with there even being part of the community who treats it as the true endgame, known as Fashion Frame. You can fully customize your Warframe, companions, weapons, how and where your weapons are holstered, effects, your landing craft inside and out, plus other cosmetic attachments and capes known as Syndanas. In Warframe, there is a lot you can do to make your character and everything around them your own. But what is there to do with these Warframes, weapons and builds? Well, for a free game, Warframe has a huge amount of content, with it all being playable either solo or in a group of up to 4 others. When it comes to the gear and farming loop, most Warframes, weapons and companions are crafted, and this is a pretty big part of the game. To craft, you either farm or buy blueprints, then farm the materials you need to craft the item. That's it, simple but rewarding. But this does mean Warframe can get a little grindy, so you have been warned. When you start, you'll be presented with the star chart. This is a series of missions you'll progress through, facing different enemy factions across the solar system. As you play through the star chart, you'll play different mission types, including extermination, where you'll have to kill a number of enemies, spy, where you'll have to sneak into an area and hack into systems, and defense, where you'll have to protect a specific point from a number of waves of enemies. When you first start playing the game, you would be mistaken for thinking, as I did, that this is it. No story, just a chain of missions to play through, but I was wrong. There are a ton of voiced cinematic story quests fleshing out the lore and story of Warframe, some of which you do need to play to progress through the star chart, and this story is still being expanded on, even after coming up to 10 years, with the newest piece of story content only dropping in December 2021. On top of this, like I said, there is a lot of variety to the gameplay of Warframe. Wanna go in guns blazing? Go for it. What about a sneaky approach? They've got you covered. Missions feeling a little claustrophobic? No problem, open world content. Map taking a while to cross? Wings. Can't do tricks on wings? K-Drive. K-Drive too small? Railjack. There is so much to do in this game. I've got a few hundred hours in Warframe and I feel like I've only just scratched the surface. If you're worried about having others to play with, Warframe is still a very active game, with, at the time of writing this, a peak of over 62,000 players in the last 24 hours, and that's only on Steam. Whenever I'm in any kind of hub area, there's always players around trading blueprints or just showing off their fashion frame. And I've always found matchmaking to be very responsive for the more desirable missions to farm for blueprints or resources. Warframe does also have a clan system where you can join or create your own clan. With the clan system, you can also build your own base for your clan, known as a dojo, and decide what rooms to include and build, which feels like a minigame in itself. So you might be thinking about giving Warframe a try, but wondering what kind of future the game has. Well, I don't see Warframe going away anytime soon. 1 week after the release of New War, the latest story content added to the game, Digital Extremes posted on the Warframe forum stating that 2022 will be a year of doing the right things for Warframe, and that they're hoping that 2022 will be the best year yet for the game, which sounds pretty promising. Okay, big question time, should you play it? Well, honestly, yes. It's a completely free game with a lot of free content. It feels like it'd be silly to at least not download it and give it a try. If you don't like it, uninstall, you've lost nothing. But really, I do think this game is worth at least a small amount of your time just to download and give it a try, even if the Warframes do look a little slimy sometimes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, giving it a like helps others find it, and don't forget to subscribe for future content. As always, a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon, and if you would like to join them, you can support the channel for as little as £1 a month. You'll find a link for that in the description below. Have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one.